It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Espresso right here on SABC3. We're in my favorite part of our Espresso studio. It is the kitchen, and Chef Tash is here. Now, ahead of Youth Day this Sunday, Chef Tash is going to be making, or rather Saturday, when is Youth Day? The 16th?
16th.
Yes. She's going to be making us an amazing recipe, and we tasked her with making something that brings back childhood memories. And apparently it is a rustic scone, or what you call rustic scones.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, my darling.
Thank you so much. So this is my mom's recipe. Hello, Mom. I told
Hello,
her
Mom.
to watch. So there's a Xhosa saying that says, you suck it from the breast. So I always, it means that in Xhosa it says, "Uyincance beleni."
Yes.
So I used to think my mom was just not good in the kitchen. She never used to measure anything until I started cooking.
Yeah.
And I was so amazed that she made these scones. When I came up with this recipe, I did not have measurements because my mom just used to hoy, and it always came out perfectly.
Which is strange because baking is more of a science and you need like specific measurements.
Definitely.
And for her to be able to get that right, she must have been really good.
Definitely.
And that's
she
why you're
used to
really
do it
good.
in heels.
Oh, wow. This is where you get your fabulosity from.
She's over 80.
Wow.
She still does heels.
I love your mom. She's like a woman after my own heart. All right, so what do we need for your rustic scones today?
For our rustic scones, we have self-raising flour. She
Okay.
always uses self-raising flour. We have butter, but what I've done with the butter is we've frozen the butter because it needs to be cold. The colder it is, the nicer, the better, the fluffier the scones. We're using Amasi. This is there's no preservatives in here, and it's going to give us that nice and rustic look. So we are going to do about 3/4 of a cup, and we are going to mix with vanilla. Please do that for me.
All right. Oh, you're putting me to work. I thought I was just here to be fabulous.
No.
Okay, so I'm mixing these two together.
Definitely. And then I'm going to do salt in our flour, and then sugar. Mix
the
the
vanilla
dry
does
with the
add
dry.
something different to it. I've
Definitely.
never added vanilla to this. My mom also used to love making scones. I'm going to put it out there. Mom, you haven't made them in a while. Might want to start again. Some really interesting information about this while you are continuing with your mixture. Clover Amasi is a fermented milk, and it does not, like Chef Tash said, contain preservatives.
Yes.
It contains 3.3% butterfat, and it can be used in place of buttermilk, and is great for cooking and for baking as well. It's super nutritious, and you can add it to things like soups and pastas, dips and sauces. Maize meal is known to be South Africa's staple food, and it has the ability to keep you full for many hours. Anybody that's gotten involved in that, you know that it is a massive staple, and you don't need to eat for 5 days afterwards.
I'm smiling because this is so nostalgic. The flour and crushing the butter into the flour is so nostalgic.
How much fun is that? And it just gives me such a sense of peace whenever I'm doing that, hey? I saw that you also grated the butter. Do you want to tell us why?
It was frozen, so it incorporates easier into the flour.
My mom always just let me do that part.
Definitely.
I love
this
it
is the
so
nicest part.
much.
This is the part that brings back the childhood memories.
Yeah.
So we are going to do Amasi, and if you see, it's better to use a little and add more because if it's too watery, then you cannot reverse it. But then if it's less, you can always add more. Yeah. So the magic with scone butter is that you don't overwork it.
Yes.
I prefer using my hands.
Use the hands, girl.
I don't mind getting dirty.
If you would like the recipe for these rustic scones, all you have to do is SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. We'll gladly send you the ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making this gorgeous childhood recipe. Very easy, simple ingredients, but I'm sure really tasty as well. Chef Tash is getting in there, and while she's getting in there, we have prepared a little recap for you as to how we went about making these incredible rustic scones. Freshly baked scones straight from the oven should be everyone's cup of tea, especially on a cold winter's morning. To make your family's day, get up a little bit earlier and add 1 cup of grated clover butter to 2 cups of self-raising flour. and rub together with your fingertips until you have a breadcrumb consistency. Next, add a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and mix to combine. Pour a cup of clover amasi into a separate bowl. Add a teaspoon of vanilla essence and whisk to combine. Then pour into the flour mixture and fold together to form a dough. Roll out the dough and cut out squares before arranging them on a lined baking tray. Bake the scones at 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes until golden brown. Serve with your favorite jam and whipped clover fresh cream. Winter blues? What winter blues? Warm your kitchen and your family's hearts with these easy and delicious Clover Amasi rustic scones.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover. Chef Tash, that looks absolutely amazing. So you are at one of the final processes of our rustic scones.
So make sure that your surface is buttered. Sorry, it's floured rather.
Yes.
So as said earlier, do not overwork your dough because if you do that, then your scones are going to become very dense.
We don't want that.
You want that flakiness when you break it. If you look at that, it's a rustic, but when you break it, it's got that.
And how long do they go in the oven for?
About 20-25 minutes.
Nice.
But what I normally do, you don't really time it. As soon as it browns, then you can take it out. So what we are going to do here, can you see how nice that comes out?
It is perfection.
We are going to use our amasi again, just to brush it.
Love it. So we're brushing it. Super easy recipe for our rustic scones this morning. Clover to 33728. We will send you the ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making these beauties yourself. Well done.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.